All right, let's talk about money because the rules, they're about to change big time. 2026 is bringing a major shakeup to how we think about retirement and savings. And honestly, what worked in the past might not cut it anymore. So, in this explainer, we're going to decode these new rules to help you get ahead of the curve. Kiplinger really hit the nail on the head with this one. Thinking of your finances as a game isn't about being careless, not at all. It's about recognizing that there's a strategy, there are rules. And yeah, those rules can get totally rewritten, often when you least expect it. So that's the big question, isn't it? How do you win? Well, look, nobody has a crystal ball. It's not about trying to predict the future. It's about understanding the core principles, the fundamentals that help you win the game no matter how the rules shift. And it all starts with the most powerful force in finance. Okay, so let's get right down to it. The absolute bedrock of building wealth. I'm talking about an engine that just works for you all day, all night, even while you're sleeping. And the best part? Get this. There's a way to get an instant 100% return on your money to get this whole thing started. This right here, this is step one, your first move on the board. If your job offers a 401k match and you're not contributing enough to get the full amount, you are literally, and I mean literally, turning down a pay raise. You are leaving free money on the table. You won't find a better guaranteed return anywhere on earth. It's pure rocket fuel for the engine we're about to talk about. So, what is this magic engine? Compounding. Well, put simply, it's your money making money. But then it gets cooler. The money that money made starts making its own money. It starts out really slow. You barely even notice it. But give it time and it creates this incredible, unstoppable financial snowball. And here's a really cool little mental shortcut so you can grasp just how powerful this is. It's called the Rule of 72. All you do is take the number 72 and divide it by whatever annual return you expect to get. The answer? That's roughly how many years it'll take for your money to double. So say you get a 7% return. 72 divided by 7, that's just a little over 10 years. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, now look at this chart. This is where it gets really crazy. See how in the first 10 years, your 10 grand almost doubles to just under 20,000? That's great. But now look at the last 10 years, from your 20 to 30. The value jumps by almost $40,000. That's the snowball getting huge and picking up some serious speed. That is the magic you want on your side. So, okay, if this compounding thing is so amazing, why isn't everyone a millionaire? It's a fair question, right? Well, a huge part of the answer, it's sitting right between our own ears. It's this internal psychological hurdle we all have to get over, our entire relationship with cash. Think of it like there's a battle going on inside your head. On one side, you've got this primal, instinctual part of your brain. It's all about fear. It sees cash in the bank and thinks safety, security. It just wants to cling to it and avoid any possible loss. But on the other side, you've got your rational, logical self. And that voice is saying, hey, cash is just a tool. We need to put it to work so we can actually grow over the long term. And letting that fear win, it feels safe, doesn't it? It's comfortable. But here's the thing. That comfort has a price tag, and it's not cheap. There is a very real cost to just letting your money sit there doing nothing. So what is it exactly? And boom, this chart lays it all out. If your emergency fund is parked in a regular old savings account, you might be getting, 0.01%? Meanwhile, inflation is eating away at your money at, say, 2 or 3% a year. You're not standing still. You're actively going backward. You are losing buying power every single day. The gap between that and a modern high-yield account, it's not just big, it's staggering. All right, so we've talked about the battle inside our own heads, but it's not just an internal thing. Now we've got to deal with some stuff happening out in the real world. The actual rules of the game are changing in 2026, and it's adding a whole new layer of complexity and, yeah, a bit of urgency to all of this. So here's a quick look at the new playbook. First, the good stuff. You're going to be able to save more. They're upping the limits on 401ks and IRAs, and they're even adding this new super catch-up for folks between 60 and 63. But, and this is a big but, on the flip side, we've got rising Medicare costs, some new rules for charity, and the big one, this really harsh subsidy cliff for health insurance is coming back. And that's the one we really, really need to pay attention to. And if you want to know just how high the stakes are, just look at this number, $84,600. For a couple that retires early and needs ACA health insurance, if their income is just one single dollar over that line, poof, they could lose tens of thousands of dollars in help. They call it the subsidy cliff for a reason, because you just fall right off of it. It makes managing every single dollar of your taxable income absolutely critical. Okay, so we've got this internal battle with fear, and now we have these new, tricky external rules to deal with. So what do we do? How do we solve this puzzle? Well, it's all about finding that smart middle ground. It's about figuring out how to have that safety net you need, but also making sure that net is actually working for you, not just sitting there. And this right here, this is the key mindset shift you need to make. Your emergency fund, that cash cushion, it's non-negotiable. You absolutely need it. But it shouldn't be a prison, right? A place where your money's potential just withers away. Think of it as a springboard. It's the solid ground that gives you the confidence to leap towards smart investments and other opportunities. And let's make this super practical. Just look at this comparison. Let's focus on this savings APY. That's the actual interest you earn. With a big traditional bank, you're getting basically nothing, 0.01%. But in a high yield account, over 3%. Think about that. If you have $20,000 saved up for emergencies, that's the difference between earning, what, $2 a year or earning over $600 a year. It's the same safe money. One is just lazy, and the other one is working its tail off for you. All right, so we've covered a lot. We talked about the power of compounding, that battle in our heads, the new rules coming down the pipe, and a smarter way forward. So let's wrap this all up with one final thought to help you figure out your next smart move. You know, I really love this quote. It just gets right to the heart of everything we've been talking about. There's no magic, one-size-fits-all answer here. It's all about finding your equilibrium. It's about understanding the give and take, finding that balance between risk and reward, and building a plan that lets you actually sleep at night while you're making progress. And that really brings us to the final, most important point. In this whole game, your single biggest advantage, your greatest ally, is time. So I'll leave you with this question. What's one small change you can make today? Not tomorrow, but today. Maybe it's automating one transfer. Maybe it's just checking your 401k contribution rate. Or maybe it's spending 10 minutes to open a high-yield savings account. What's that one small thing you can do to put time back on your side?